Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand, just 25 cents. But what if I told you that this very coin, the 2000 South Carolina state quarter, could be worth a jaw-dropping $13 million? Yes, you heard that right. 13 million, and today on Profit Show, we are diving deep into one of the most shocking, mysterious, and valuable stories in the entire world of coin collecting. So stay with me till the very end, because what you're about to hear will make you look at every coin in your pocket in a completely different way. Now picture this. It's the year 2000. The United States Mint releases the South Carolina state quarter as part of the legendary 50 state quarters program. Millions of these coins are made, showing the proud outline of South Carolina. The palmetto tree, the Carolina wren, and that little star marking the capital city, Columbia. But hidden among those millions, there's one coin, one rare minting anomaly, that would later shock numismatists, collectors, and even grading professionals from PCGS and NGC. But before we reach that legendary coin, let's build the mystery, because every legend in the coin world starts with one thing: an accident, a flaw, a moment in minting history that no one expected. And that's exactly what happened here. Somewhere between the Philadelphia and Denver mints, a batch of coins came out with a stunning 1 in a billion, double striking error combined with a rare plancher anomaly, something so rare that only a few even survived, and one of those is now valued at over $13 million. The story begins when a collector, an everyday man named Robert Miller from Charleston, South Carolina, was sorting through rolls of quarters he picked up from his local bank. He wasn't a professional grader, not even a full-time collector, just someone who loved looking for hidden treasures and pocket change. He noticed something strange, a slightly off-center strike on a coin that gleamed differently than the rest. The edges had an odd texture. The state design seemed misaligned, and when he flipped it over, the words United States of America were doubled, faintly but clearly visible. That tiny imperfection would change his life forever. Robert sent the coin to PCGS, the professional coin grading service, one of the most trusted grading companies in the world. Days later, he received a call, and the voice on the other end said, "Sir, this coin you submitted is one of the most remarkable state quarters we've ever examined. The grade came back as MS69 error strike, nearly perfect condition, and because of the minting anomaly, the coin's potential value skyrocketed into the millions." Now let's pause here for a second, because many of you watching might wonder, how can a coin that originally cost 25 cents be worth millions? And here's where numismatics, the science and passion of coin collecting, reveals its magic. You see, every coin has a story, a condition, a rarity factor, and a historical context. Collectors and investors evaluate coins based on a mix of these traits, called the 4 pillars of coin value: rarity, demand, condition, and authenticity. And when all 4 align perfectly, you get a masterpiece like the 2000 South Carolina quarter. This coin wasn't just rare, it was beautifully struck. The double die error was clean, sharp, and visible even under magnification. The mint luster glowed with a rainbow-like toning, something that occurs only under very specific environmental conditions. And PCGS, along with NGC, the numismatic guarantee company, confirmed that this coin's strike was unlike any known example in the series. Experts called it a once-in-a-lifetime minting miracle. Now let's talk about its physical features, because for collectors, details matter more than anything. The South Carolina state quarter is composed of copper and nickel clad, weighs about 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.75 millimeters. But in this rare piece, even the composition appears slightly off. Metallurgical analysis showed trace anomalies, suggesting it may have been struck on an experimental plancher, something the mint sometimes uses during transition tests. This detail alone makes it priceless. As word of this discovery spread, the coin collecting community lit up with debate. Some believed it was simply a high-grade error. Others thought it might be a prototype test strike. But when images were shown at the 2001 ANA World's Fair of Money, experts agreed this coin was extraordinary, and soon, offers started pouring in from collectors, investors, and museums. The highest offer, a staggering $13 million from a private numismatic investor based in California. By now, Robert Miller had become a household name in the coin community. His once ordinary life transformed overnight, and yet, what fascinated people most wasn't just the money. It was the mystery. How did such a coin slip through mint inspection? And why were there no official records of its production anomaly? To this day, those questions remain unanswered, adding layers of suspense and curiosity that keep collectors endlessly fascinated. And this is where the story begins to blend with the legend, Because every collector knows that behind every high-value coin lies not just a piece of metal, but a piece of history. And when that history connects to a real-life mystery, it becomes timeless. The 2000 South Carolina State Quarter is now considered one of the holy grails of modern U.S. coinage, right up there with the 1933 Double Eagle and the 1794 Flowing Hair dollar. Let's add one more twist. During grading, PCGS discovered microscopic tooling marks near the rim, a sign that the coin may have been hand-adjusted before the final strike, a procedure never intended for mass-produced coins, which made experts believe this could have been a test piece, possibly created during mint calibration. This small detail turned speculation into obsession. Collectors started combing through thousands of South Carolina quarters hoping to find another, but so far, only this one has surfaced. Now imagine this. A coin you could easily overlook at a grocery store checkout line, turning out to be worth more than a mansion. This is the kind of discovery that fuels the passion of every coin hunter out there. And that's why numismatics isn't just a hobby. It's a treasure hunt wrapped in history, skill, and patience. So before we move on to grading and selling, let's pause for a moment and understand why condition matters so much. The difference between a circulated coin and a mint state coin can mean the difference between pocket change and generational wealth. PCGS and NGC use the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, where 70 represents absolute perfection under magnification. This 2000 South Carolina quarter graded MS69, meaning it had near-perfect surfaces, untouched luster, and flawless detail. Collectors say that in coin collecting, rarity attracts interest. But condition creates obsession, and this coin proves it. Because when you combine extreme rarity with near-perfect condition, the market goes wild and prices soar beyond logic. Exactly what happened here. Now, as we close this first part of the story, think about this. How many coins pass through your hands every single day? How many do you toss into jars, vending machines, or gas station counters? What if one of them is another million-dollar piece waiting to be discovered? What if you're the next Robert Miller, holding a coin that could rewrite numismatic history? So keep watching, because in part 2, we'll dive deeper. We'll reveal exactly how grading and authentication can multiply your coin's value, where to sell your rare coins for maximum profit, and the secret platforms where collectors and investors compete for hidden treasures. And most importantly, I'll show you how you can turn your simple pocket change into serious profit. If you're enjoying this story and want to uncover more hidden treasures like this one, smash that like button, drop a comment telling me what rare coin you found, and make sure you subscribe right now to Profit Show, because what's coming next might just change the way you look at every coin in your wallet forever. So now that we've uncovered the legend of the 2000 South Carolina State Quarter, let's go deeper into the world where value is born, where experts determine if a coin is worth a few dollars or a life-changing fortune. Because understanding grading, authentication, and selling is what separates casual collectors from true numismatists. And today I'll show you exactly how that works. The first step in unlocking a coin's real worth is grading, and the two most trusted names in this field are PCGs, the Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, the Numismatic Guarantee Company. These organizations don't just look at the coin, they study it under high magnification, examine its strike, its luster, its surface condition, and even the way the light dances across its metal. They seal the coin in tamper-proof holders called slabs, each with a unique certification number that verifies its authenticity and grade. And that single number, the grade, can change the value by thousands, or even millions. For example, a South Carolina quarter in average circulated condition might fetch 25 cents, maybe $1, but the exact same coin graded Miss 69 or Miss 70 by PCGs could sell for hundreds or even thousands. And when a rare error or experimental strike is involved, the price goes into the stratosphere. The $13 million example we discussed earlier became a global phenomenon not just because of its rarity, but because PCGs confirmed its authenticity and perfection. Let's talk about what affects the grade. There are 5 major grading categories: strike, luster, color, surface preservation, and eye appeal. The strike measures how sharply the design was pressed. The luster tells how much shine remains the color, reveals any toning or oxidation. The surface preservation checks for scratches or marks. And the eye appeal, well, that's the magic factor that makes a collector fall in love instantly when all 5 align. That's when the miracle happens. Many collectors wonder if they can grade a coin themselves. And while you can learn the basics, nothing beats professional grading. Because in the world of high-value coins, credibility is everything. A certificate from PCGs or NGC is like a passport to the global numismatic market. Without it, you might never unlock the full potential of your coin. Let's focus on the 2000 South Carolina State Quarter. Again, its value exploded because its grade was MS69, nearly flawless, and because experts authenticated its error as a double strike on a transitional planche. That combination is like lightning in a bottle. Even the slightest difference in detail could change the value from a few thousand to millions. Imagine that the tiny imperfection that once looked like a flaw actually became the reason for its fortune. But what if you're holding a coin right now and wondering, could mine be valuable too? The answer is maybe, but you have to look carefully. First, use a magnifier check for mint marks. P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. Look for doubling on letters or designs off center strikes or unusual edges. Check the luster and color. If your coin looks different from others of the same year, it might be worth a professional look. Now let's dive into selling, because even the rarest coin is just a hidden treasure until it finds the right buyer, and that's where knowing where and how to sell becomes crucial. There are three main routes: auction houses, certified marketplaces, and direct collector networks. Top auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's, Bowers, and Great Collections have handled some of the highest-selling state quarters ever. They work directly with PCGs and NGC-verified coins and connect you to serious investors. For everyday collectors, online platforms like eBay can also be used. But here's the golden rule: never sell a valuable coin, raw or ungraded. Always have it certified. First buyers pay more when the coin's authenticity is guaranteed. It's like selling a diamond with a gem certificate. The documentation is what gives it authority. And here's a secret many new collectors don't know: there are private numismatic dealers and brokers who buy directly from collectors, especially if the coin is a major rarity. These professionals often work through referrals and private groups. They offer discretion and fast sales, but always make sure they are registered members of the American Numismatic Association or have verified dealer credentials. Because in this world, trust means profit. Now let's add the science behind the beauty. The South Carolina quarter was made with a copper-nickel clad composition, but the rare one showed slight differences in metallic density. Under analysis, it weighed around 5.68 grams instead of the standard 5.67. The diameter was precisely 24.26 millimeters, but microscopic scanning revealed faint rim anomalies indicating a misfeed during striking. That subtle difference is what turned it from ordinary to extraordinary. Collectors call this a transitional error, meaning it may have been struck on leftover planches from a previous run, possibly the Delaware quarter, making it even rarer than anyone realized. Think about that for a moment. A single millimeter, a single gram could mean the difference between pocket change and a multi-million-dollar artifact. That's why numismatics is a game of patience, precision, and deep passion. And speaking of passion, let's talk about the people behind this world. Numismatists don't just chase money, they chase stories. Every coin carries the fingerprint of history, a connection to the past, a window into the craftsmanship of the mint. And when a coin like this appears, it reignites that fire inside the community collectors. Discuss it in forums, YouTube, videos, coin shows, and conventions. And the name Profit Show is becoming a hub for those stories, a place where ordinary finds turn into legendary discoveries. But let's not forget the emotional side, because when Robert Miller discovered his coin, his hands were shaking, his heart pounding, that feeling of realizing you might be holding a fortune. It's indescribable, and yet the true beauty wasn't just in the money. It was in the journey, the late nights researching. Mint marks the hours spent studying error types, the conversations with experts. That's what made his story resonate across the world, and that's why you watching this right now could be next. Now here's a powerful insight: grading doesn't just protect your coin, it preserves it for generations. PCGs and NGC holders are made with inert plastic that prevents oxidation, meaning your coin will stay in the same pristine condition for decades to come. That's why collectors often say you're not just buying a coin, you're buying a legacy. Let's say you have a coin you suspect is rare. The process is simple. First, clean it gently, only with a soft cloth. Never use chemicals. Then photograph both sides in good lighting. Submit it through PCG's or NGC's official website. Choose economy or express tier. Depending on the coin's potential value, ship it securely and wait for the results. Once it's graded, your coin will have an official population report, meaning you'll know exactly how many, it exist in that grade. If the number is low, the price goes high. And if you ever decide to sell, go through trusted auction platforms or reach out to licensed dealers, list it with clear photos. Mention the certification number and include provenance, meaning the story behind the coin. Collectors love knowing where a coin came from, who discovered it, and how it survived. Time. Provenance adds emotion, and emotion adds value. Now let's talk about something even more fascinating: the psychology of collecting. What drives people to pay millions for a small piece of metal? It's not greed, it's legacy. Collectors see coins as frozen moments of history, art, science, and mystery combined. They know that long after we're gone, these coins will still tell stories that outlast us, and that's what makes them priceless. The 2000 South Carolina State Quarter represents that perfect mix of rarity, mystery, and human connection. It's not just a mint error, it's a symbol of curiosity that turned into fortune. And that's why even today, coin hunters across America still check their change, still open bankrolls, still dream that one day they'll find the next $1 million coin. And as we reach the emotional close, remember this: every great discovery starts with someone who dared to look closer. You might be that person, the next story, the next legend. And if you believe that every coin has a story to tell, then you belong right here on Profit Show, where we uncover the truth behind every piece of currency that changed lives forever. So if this story moved you, if you felt that spark of curiosity, that rush of possibility, hit that like button, leave a comment saying "I believe in rare coins," and make sure you subscribe to Profit Show right now, because what's coming next will blow your mind. We're talking about coins worth even more than this one: hidden errors, forgotten mint marks, and shocking values that are waiting in plain sight. Don't just watch, be part of the journey. Grab your magnifier, check your pocket change, study every detail, because somewhere out there another coin is waiting to be found, and it might be yours. This is your moment, your mystery, your discovery, your Profit Show.